will hold the bikes and the riders will move over to the opposite side of the track, and then we'll get the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. The clock will start, the 1 hour will be underway, and the riders will then run across the track, hop onto their machines, and then it will be 1 hour go for Power Sport 650 and Super Sport 300.
I was just looking at that number 94 bike there, Frankie, and number 94 is the Elmer Mostert and Nigel Evert's bike. What a lovely livery it has on that ER6 Kawasaki. And it's always great to see a number of machines out there. Like you said, Frankie, look at the old classic Le Mans start, which actually at Le Mans was retired after 1970. But you can see the riders all very excited, very good spirits over there. Some of them getting warmed up on the side there, doing their stretches and doing their their Pilates and doing their Tai Chi and all of those various exercises they need to do to keep themselves all alert and awake. And they will get ready for this 60-minute. There we go. There's some good dancing out there. So let me tell you one thing. Hopefully you need to be as quick as you can dance here.
Well, they are all on the opposite side. It is now 1:45. We'll wait for the countdown. John Green has got his thumb up. The moment he nods his head and gives a signal, they will probably wave the flag here at the start-finish line. The riders are watching the start-finish line podium, and then the moment that flag drops down, they will jog across the track and then get this one underway.
Oh, luckily for John, he doesn't have to run out of the way of anybody today like he usually does. He is running a little bit there, but I think that's the wind taking him a little bit. Very good, responsible man, John Green, been around for many years and a very experienced head. The riders like him a lot. We all do. And that waiting game, Frankie, the heart must be beating now. The mouth getting a bit dry there.
Normally you'd see, if it was the 8 hour, you'd see Neva van der Merwe standing with a flag, and she would wave that flag and then send them on their way. But that, of course, will be next week. And then they will get that one underway. But that's a week from today. 10 teams out there. But 2 riders, at least a team. And pretty soon we will have all systems go.
Well, at the moment, it looks like about 22 degrees Celsius and absolutely zero chance of any rain. Fluffy white clouds in the sky, lovely blue skies. It's just this damn wind, I can tell you that much. That's going to cause quite a bit of interesting things today.
Well, the wind, no, don't run yet. That was just a whistle, guys. Yeah.
30 seconds and lights.
So let's have a look, see the 30-second, I'm sure they'll show them the 30-second board, and then they'll work on the light system. The lights and pit lane go off, and here they come. Jogging across the line, climbing on the bike, and a lovely start off the line there by the 11 machine that gets going off the line. It could be Mitch Robinson, I'm not sure. We'll get those numbers as they make their way around. You couldn't see the complete number on the motorcycles.
The Hutchings bike, Frankie, sorry to interject there. The Hutchings bike is stuck currently on the grid at the moment. They are struggling to get that bike going. Have Braden Hutchings on the machine at the present moment, and he's got Nicholas right alongside him over there, and eventually that number 72 bike is off of the grid, but now he's got a lot of catch up to do, Frankie.
Yeah, he's going to have to get going pretty soon, which he does. He's only working his way into turn number 1, and the leading bikes are making their way out of Interceptor Corner. Turn 3, working their way towards turn 4. So this, of course, is endurance racing, so they might hoof it up for a lap or 2, and then they're going to have to just roll off, as already we've got a change of 2 positions going down that back straight towards turn 5 into Fostron Corner, as the bikes work their way out of Fostron. We'll have a look-see now who is first, second and third when they cross the start-finish line, and take it from there as they're heading towards the end of the opening lap of 1 hour.
Yeah, underneath the City of Cape Town, Wingfield Motors and Castrol Bridge, and across the line we go. It will be the bike number 92 with the Van Niekerk and Weening bike. That will be half a second between themselves, and 89, the Wasserval and Landon Thompson. That's on that bike. And then, of course, Solomon up as far as the 300s are concerned. Frankie going to share that with Slade Van Niekerk at the moment. That is the top three. The number 78 coming after that, which is the Anticott Hendricks entry. And then Mitch Robinson and Robin de Vos on that number 71 bike in fifth position.
Right, so all bikes have now done their opening lap. We have a look for the leaders. They're going into turn number 4 into Sarl Sweep, and that's the Matthew Van Niekerk, Quinton Weening combination. They're making their way down the back straight, and they've been chased there by that 89 motorcycle. That's the Keegan Wasserval and Leighton Thomas. Those are two riders that will be on that bike as they work their way through turn 5 out of Pertamina Fostron. And not much between the 92 and the 89 bike. They are followed there in third place as he makes his way out of turn number 5. That is the Adrian Solomon and the Van Niekerk machine. That is the 4 bike. That's Adrian Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk that sits there in that third position.
Well, the first full flying lap has now been completed, Frankie. Remember the first one, a standing start. It's a 1:24.982 by that number 92 biker Van Niekerk and Weening that has the fastest lap. No surprise over there. 0.8 of a second between that Leighton Thomas and Keegan Wasserval bike. 0.8 of a second, as I said. And then, of course, the leading 300 out there, the number 4, that is the Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk NG at the moment. So leaders going now through 4. You can see them in the same picture at the moment. 0.8 of a second between each other when they cross the line. Solomon will just be in the background there, the Solomon bike with Van Niekerk, and then the David Anticott entry, number 78, a little bit further back, Frankie. I see there's a bit of a small battle going on. If I take a look at that, I think it is the Robinson and the Vos bike against the Abigail Bosson and Jessica Howard's bike.
Yeah, Jessica Howard and Boston, they're on bike 57, but the leaders are coming towards us now. They're crossing that start-finish line, and there is nothing between them. That is the Matthew Van Niekerk, Quinton Weening outfit, and then the Keegan Wasserval machine followed there. Or should I say, Leighton Thomas is with him, and then Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk is in that third position as the leaders are now heading towards turn number 2, busy making their way out of Castrol Corner.
As we complete the first 5 minutes of the 60 minutes in this Super Twin Cup 650 and Super Sport 300s. And now the gap, of course, will be ever extending between the leaders and second place. Now 1.3 seconds. Solomon, they'll start dropping a little bit further back now there with himself and Slade Van Niekerk. Anticott trying to keep on to that, but 2.3 seconds between himself and the podium placings. Whilst Robinson and De Vos will hanging in there, 4.7 seconds. But the big one to watch at the moment now is between the 71 bike and the 51 machine, the all-ladies team over there, and also 2 ladies with a lot of international experience, or a little bit of international experience behind their names now, and 2 ladies that are actually really going places, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's 2 motorcycles that's not on screen now, but they're working their way through turn number 5. And that is the 71 and the 51. There they are, the 2 of them coming out of Fostron Corner. That is Mitch Robinson, Robin de Vos, and then Abigail Bosson and Jessica Howden. And that is the all-ladies team as those 2 motorcycles work their way into turn number 1.
Well, the 51 Howden Bosson bike has just put in the fastest lap of the race for them, not the overall. Of course, that's a 1:28.207. Likewise for Solomon and Van Niekerk, a 1:27.226, and going ever faster every single time and getting that overall lap. Fastest lap at the moment is still the Van Niekerk and Weaning bike that leads the way by 2.3 seconds.
We've got a bike that's going very slow through the kink and heading towards Interceptor Corner. Very, very slow heading into Interceptor Corner. We'll pick up the number of that rider now as he goes into Interceptor. He had his arm up at one stage of the game.
As far as I know, it's a Kawasaki, and we're just trying to pick up the number for you folks around the circuit and at home. But he's got his hand up. And we'll see going down the back straight fairly shortly now. That was through turn 3 initially that we saw that bike running through. It's a Bosson.
Well, the leader's heading into turn number 1, all on his own there. That's Dave Entercott's bike. Yeah, he was sitting in 3rd place. That is Entercott and Wesley Hendricks. That bike has got trouble out there.
Sorry, Frankie, I gave you wrong information. It's 4th position that they were lying in. That means the Mitch Robinson and the Robin de Vos bike goes up into 4th position. What an unfortunate sequence of events here for that number 78 bike, dropping down the order now, and will have to pull that bike into pit lane fairly shortly here. And this only 8 minutes into the race.
Well, going into turn number 5 now. That's at fight with the Bosson and Howden, and just ahead of Bosson and Howden is that 71 outfit of Mitch Robinson and Rob de Vos. That is about the closest thing that you can see on your screen coming out of Pertamina Fostron right now as they head under the City of Cape Town and Castrol Bridge and work their way into turn number 1. They are nearly side by side as they work their way into turn 1. And the 71 bike just dives across the bows there of the 51 machine of Bosson and Howden as they make their way towards turn 2 Castrol.
At the moment, Frankie, the closest battle on the circuit. When they crossed the line, it was 1.7 seconds between them, but look how close they have come now as the leaders have crossed the line already. The Van Niekerk and Weaning number 92 bike, the last lap at 1:24.73, which is just a smidgen off of their best time at the present moment. And then we had now 10 crews in, or 10 pairings. Now we seem for the foreseeable future to have 9, and the bike has been pushed into the pits now, into the garage, and that looks to be an exit for Entercott and Hendricks.
So, as you were talking about the closest fight on track, and that fight is heading into turn number 2. That is the 71 and the 51 of Robertson, De Vos, and Bosson and Howden. They're heading into Interceptor Corner now. There was a fight a bit closer earlier on, but there was a couple of back markers. This is the actual 71 and 51 that's making their way towards a turn number 4. There you see them on your screen at home as they dip those bikes into the double right-hander. That is Sarl Sweep, and now make their way down the back main towards Castrol, towards the Pertamina Fostron corner. And I'll tell you what, that all-lady team is keeping that 71 bike of Robertson and De Vos very honest as they work their way out of Pertamina Fostron.
Well, just looking at the times, Frankie, first of all, another fastest lap, a 1:24.134 for Van Niekerk and Weaning. But looking at the comparison of the 71 bike and the 51 bike times, a 1/10 of a second in it. A 28.3 for Robinson and De Vos, and a 28.5 now for Bosson and Howden. 2/10 off at the moment. At this time, it looks like bike number 71 might just get the handle, have the handle on the bike trailing them. But remember, we're still very early into the race, Frankie.
Right, so it is 1:24.134 by bike 92 that sits out there in P1. And he is all on his own there. That's the Van Niekerk and Weaning combination of the 91 machine. and he is way down the road. He was 4.7 seconds ahead of the 89 bike in second place. That is the Wasserfall-Thomas combination.
We're just waiting now for the Hutchings 72 bike to cross the line, the bike that struggled to get off of the line. Here he comes now in the familiar Hutchings Service Centre colours, and now also as well as Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts that will come through on bike number 94, who have actually already been lapped, looks like it at the moment, by our leaders. Van Niekerk and Winnie have come through. And yes, Wasserfall and Thomas still holding their own, 5.5 seconds off at the present moment. And then Solomon and Van Niekerk, the leading, actually not the leading 300, they're all 300s, my apologies. I was still going by our usual, we don't have any 650s in this race at the time, so it's all 300s out there. And that means that the top 5 have come through. Reifart and Rimmer, Reifart and Rimmer I should rather say, should be coming through next. Their last time a 1:31.702. And coming to complete their 8th lap of this hour-long race.
So your overall race leader making his way down the back straight, heading in towards turn number 5 into Fostron. He's put a lap there on one of the Super Sport 300 riders, and that's a 92 machine, the Van Niekerk winning combo that is sitting out there in P1 all on his own as he works his way under the Wingfield Motors Castrol instead of Cape Town Bridge, heading into turn number 1. Then this should be the 89 bike in second place, and it is indeed the 89 bike in second place, and he's 5.5 seconds behind the leader Keegan Wasserfall and Leighton Thomas.
So 9 of them left of the 10 that started. That is the nature of endurance racing. Across the line is Solomon and Van Niekerk now, and they are 22.7 seconds off of the leader, 17.2 off of second position at this time as Robinson and De Vos come through, and it's 1.2 seconds between the 71 bike and the 51 bike. So I'm just looking at the times now as they're going to turn 1, and it of course, look at that now, a whole chunk of time taken out of the number 71 bike by the Abigail Bosson and Jessica Howden bike, a 1:28.410 compared to the 1:27.747. And we're looking at 0.7 of a second here, Frankie.
Well, that's about the closest it'll fight out on track at this stage, going through the kink and working their way towards the interceptor corner. That's bike 71 and bike 51 on your screens there. 71 is the Robertson De Vos combination, and the 51 is the Bosson Howden combo as they work their way up the hill towards the double right-hander. That's the Saddle Sweep, also known as Malmesbury Sweep. And down the back main they go, and they are very close. They are very close down that back straight. I would think that that is Abigail Bosson, that she would probably do the first stint, but yeah, we weren't given who's going to be on the bike first, who's going to be on the bike second as they exit turn 5 out of Fostron corner. Yeah, they come towards us. There's a back marker that's just ahead of them, and that back marker is the 94 bike who's sitting stone last in any case, and that 94 machine is the Elmer Mostert Nigel Everts bike as they work their way out of turn number 1, and they are right on the case of that 94 bike. That's the back marker as they head towards turn 2 Castrol.
Yeah, that Elmer Mostert Nigel Everts bike, Frankie's one of the 650s. So yes, there is a mix of 650cc machines, the odd 400 and the odd 390 in there as well. That was the originally the Raymond Alexander and Wynand Donagi bike. It was going to be the KTM 390, but we've had a few withdrawals, unfortunately, from the race before it even started. Going down the order here, the Mitch Robinson and Robin De Vos, that's the Kawasaki Ninja 300 at the moment, and currently lies in what is 4th position over here and fending off from the Bosson Howden number 51. That number 51 is a it's a 300 Yamaha. that is currently on. So that's basically the battle, you could say, for the 300 honors at the moment. That number 4 machine over here is solid. That's the 400 machine that is in 3rd place at the present moment, and 22.9 seconds off of the 89 Wasserfall and Thomas machine.
Yeah, that is the 2nd place, I would think, in the Super Sport 300s. Or no, they would be leading the Super Sport 300s. The 71 would be 2nd, the 51 would then be in that 3rd position, which means that 1st and 2nd is not only just 1st and 2nd, but they're also 1st and 2nd in class. That's the 92 and the 89 machines, the Van Niekerk, Wiening, and the Wasserfall Thomas combo. Well, there's only about 9 bikes out there, and they are very, very, very spread out all over this racetrack, and there's still 42 minutes left before we see the checkered flag, as we keep an eye on the leader that's going into turn number 1.
He's turned the wick down a little bit, sorry Frankie. A 1:24.960 now on this last lap. 0.8 of a second off of his best time, a 1:24.134. Remember though, endurance racing is all about the long run here, and we have now 42 minutes to go in this particular motor race with 2 hour-long bike races today, and then the Cape 3 hour coming a little bit later on after 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Right, where's the leader? All on his own on your screen, heading towards a turn 4. All on his own, out of saddle sweep, the 92 bike sitting out there in P1, the Van Niekerk Wiening combination, racing all on his ace down the back straight towards a turn 4, and not too far behind him though is that 89 bike heading towards a turn 2. That is the Wasserfall Thomas combo that are sharing the 89 bike as we watch them make their way through turn 5. That's Pertamina Fostron corner as they head towards the Wingfield Motors and the City of Cape Town Bridge. To start lap number 13, into turn 1 he goes, and he is 3.9 seconds ahead there of the 89 bike of Wasserfall and Thomas.
The big dice going to be coming into turn 4 now. Is that the number 51 bike that's coming down the straight and almost looking like it's standing still? That 71 bike is slowing down, Frankie.
Yes, the 71 bike is slowing right down. That's the Mitch Robinson, Rob de Vos outfit that slowed right down, and he gave that position away to the Boston Howden combo as they exit turn 5. Out of a Fostron corner they come. Now, is he going to continue? No, he's not. The 71 bike makes its way into the pit area as the ladies team work their way into turn 1, and that is all over there for the 71 machine of Mitch Robinson and Rob de Vos in the Kawasaki Ninja 300.
Well, the 51 goes into 4th position.
Sorry about it. Yes, Gary just mentioned something. Of course, it's a 1 hour enduro, so it could be a rider change. Yes, it is a rider change. My apologies on that one, folks. It is a rider change.
No rider change, so we've been informed from Tiny, as actually saw through the binoculars, no rider change over there, unless it was a very fast rider change. And the same guy.
Well, what I'm trying to say is you could come in for the rider change. Obviously, they didn't do the rider change, but the option was there for the rider change.
Fuel as well, could be a tot of fuel put in there as well. Maybe they are running on fumes down the back straight.
Probably, because these bikes won't make an hour on 1 tank of fuel, so you would think they would then refuel when they change riders, but maybe even so, they cannot get to the spot or the point where they want to change riders on a tank of fuel. Maybe they didn't start with full tanks. You don't want those bikes too heavy, so obviously it's a whole combination of what needs to be done to get the maximum pace out of the machine.
Well, we'll see now shortly, Frankie, with the 9 teams or the 9 bikes that are left in the race. We will be having those rider changes come up shortly because of the compulsory rules. Down the back straight, though, comes the whole gaggle of machines, including the leader.
Yeah, the leader, a back marker, and second place man as they make their way out of Fostron corner. That's at 92 bike of Nikak and Weening. He's in the 650 class. There they make their way into turn number 1. And he's going to put a lap on somebody coming out of turn number 1.
It looks like a tight little battle coming out of that turn 1 section, Frankie. We'll just have to try and pick up there who exactly it is. Seeing the numbers on these bikes can be quite a trick to it. But Michael Reifarth and Philip Rimmer, that 75 bike comes through, a lap down already. And we've had 4 bikes cross the line so far. Now we wait for our more recently new 4th place as Raymond Alexander's number 11 machine goes across the line. A man who's a very big regular in the short circuit scene. And we still have Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts out on the circuit, which is good news. Here comes Abby Bosson now and Jessica Howden. They currently are at the moment in 4th position, and that is 18.7 seconds off of the Solomon van Nikak machine in that 3rd position.
Right, coming out of turn number 5, out of Fostron corner. Your leader will be coming out of that turn towards us as the 92 machine makes his way towards us under the set of Cape Town Bridge. And he has got, as a matter of fact, we've got a change of lead. We've got a change of lead, Byron. While we were watching all the other action out there, the 89 bike comes out of turn 1 in P1, and that 92 bike is there in that 2nd spot as they race towards Castrol corner. Well, we missed that overtaking maneuver, but that could have been because of back markers that they picked up, that the 92 bike picked them up at the wrong place and lost their lead there to the 89 bike of Wasserfall and Thomas. But they are nose to tail as they work their way out of turn 3 Interceptor.
Well, on the last lap, Frankie, we had 2.2 seconds faster from Wasserfall and Thomas's 89 bike over the Van Nikak and Weening bike. Like you said, those back markers played a huge factor in here.
Yeah, as the machines make their way around. Down the back main they go. That is the leaders heading into turn 5. We've got double yellow flags. There's a rider down in Fostron corner. We'll identify the rider now. So there's no overtaking in that part of the track. Well, I see the marshals are busy running there in turn 5 in Fostron corner, but the leaders working their way towards us. Under the bridge they come, racing into turn number 1, and there's 0.6 of a second between P1 and P2 working their way out of turn 1 with 35 minutes still to go.
They have to be careful through that yellow flag zone there, Frankie. They're putting in some quick time still. A 1:24.084 through there for the Wasserfall Thomas 89 bike. A 1:24.2. So 0.2 of a second between them at the moment. And as you pointed out, Frankie, 0.6 of a second in the battle as it is. They're going now. Abigail Boston, number 151. She put it down in Pertamina Fastron turn 5.
Well, that's not what she wanted at this point in time. However, the 92 bike was the quickest bike out there. It's no longer. It's now the 89 bike of a 1:23.700 by the 89 bike of Wasserfall and Thomas.
Well, we have to just check, Frankie.
We still got the double wave yellows going into turn 5. That is on the. That will be. Wherever the bike is on the inside of 5 behind the scrutineering building, so that's where I saw the marshals run to early on. So whoever is down there, it will be out of our view, and that is behind the scrutineering area.
Well, for the present moment, it's going to be 8 bikes circulating out of the 10 that started. We've had our leaders come across the line once more over here, and a 1/10 of a second quicker from our second place number 92 bike over the number 89 that still leads at the present moment, and that's a half a second between the two of them. Robinson and DeVos on bike number 71, who was having that lovely battle earlier on with bike number 51, is back into 4th place, having stopped now earlier on for a shot of fuel most likely.
Well, Byron, I can tell you this, that the 92 bike that's going into turn 5 now, that's in 2nd position. He is way behind the leader that's making his way around. Where is that leader? The leader is the 89 bike.
Hasn't come past.
Hasn't come past. So is that...
Signaling 35. It's signaling to the pits. All right, that was just Michael Ryforth and the Philip Rimmer bike. Sorry, Frankie, in 5th position, giving the thumbs up to the pits at the present moment. So we have to actually just see now, because currently the last place machine is the Mostert and Everts bike. Coming to the line now, 89 comes across the line, and between 89 and 92 is still half a second, Frankie, because they're almost matching times here. A 1:24.868 for the leader. Second place, a 1:24.897 at the present moment. It's a hot battle.
Yeah, well, they were overtaking so much that I actually thought that the 92 bike had dropped a bit further down, but they had not. As a matter of fact, the only real dice on track right now at this point is the dice for the lead that's making its way into turn 3, into Interceptor corner. That is the only dice on track. Everything else is completely petered out. As a matter of fact, if you look at that bike that's going down the back main there, Byron, and you have a look at the bike that's in 2nd place, they look identical. And that's where I got confused between the 92 and that machine.
Leader in the pits, Frankie, for a rider change. 94 in the pits. 89. 94 is in the pits, my apologies. And then 89 will continue at the present moment. Let's see as they come across. This is the Ryforth Rimmer bike. Raymond Alexander also a second off for that 5th place battle. 72 has come into the pit lane. That is the Hutchings bike. So that will be for a rider change.
Right, the two leaders are making their way nose to tail out of turn number 1. And that is still the 89 and the 92 bikes. So they have not come into pits yet. These two guys are still going hammer and tongs after 20 laps. They sit in P1 and P2, working their way through Castile corner. Well, that 92 bike slide up on the inside as the 89 bike went pretty wide there. The Wasserfall Thomas bike went wide, but no. He stays in 2nd place, does Van Niekerk and Wiening, as they work their way through turn 3, through Interceptor and up the hill towards Saddle Sweep.
I think this wind is affecting a lot of riders. I think Frankie looked to lose a little bit of momentum out of turn 2 and through the kink there was the number 92. But yeah, they come through turn 4 now and onto the back straight. Remember that headwind that they're going to go into now. And Wasserfall, a 1:24.4 and a 1:22.4 for that.
The lead has changed. The lead has changed in turn 4 as they race down towards turn 5. The lead has changed. Sorry, Byron. And the 92 bike is back in P1 again. So that change must have happened in turn 4 as somebody has stopped on the exit of turn 5.
I saw you. Sorry, Frankie, I saw yellow flags, double wave yellows, waving in turn 5, Pertamina Fastron. I don't know at the moment. We can't see a number. There's a white flag for a slow-moving vehicle. There we go. I thought it might be the case. Abigail is trying to get her bike back to the pits. 75. So that is the Ryforth Rimmer machine from 6th position in this race.
So with a half an hour done, the pit changes will happen now. If you haven't pitted yet, it'll happen on the half an hour mark. So the riders are coming in and out. As a matter of fact, Brian, when the 89 bike came past us, heading into turn 1, I saw the rider put up his left hand on the half an hour mark. So don't be surprised if that 89 machine of Wasserfall and Thomas come into the pit area now.
So the Hutchings bike is currently refueling, and that will be Braden Hutchings going to be handing over to Nicholas Hutchings. That will get onto that bike, the tall, lanky figure of Nicholas Hutchings, the two cousins, as they are, and they'll be back out in the race shortly. Currently sitting in the pits in 7th position at the moment, Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts doing exactly the same now. 94 is leaving the pits. That will be the Mostert and Everts.
The 89 bike does make its way into the pit area. Remember, I said that they would be making their way into the pits. Bikes are becoming out the pits now. The 72 makes its way out of the pit area. So the bike that was in 2nd place, that is the Wasserfall-Thomas combination, is in the pit area, and being a half an hour, I'm almost certain, Byron, that there would be a rider change.
Well, Raymond Alexander's number 11 machine is in the pits at the moment, and I don't know who he's actually sharing that bike with, the number 11, because he is the only man on the screen at this time. So I don't know if he's going to try and maybe do the whole hour. I speak under correction. 89 in the pits. And, well, we had the Hutchings come out as well, the number 72 bike rocketing out of the Joubert pit area there after taking on the fuel and the rider change. So he sits in 7th position at the moment, Nicholas Hutchings. And Michael Reifarth from the Philip Rimmers, number 75, still well and truly in that 6th position. But Alexander, who was 5th, is still remaining 5th whilst he sits in the pits at the moment. And I could do see that Raymond Alexander bike also running the Hutchings Service Centre colours, the orange and the orange and blue, like the Golf colours. And I see a rider coming out here. There's a bike coming out of the pits. Double. Bike 4, that is the Solomon van Niekerk machine after. And 92 comes out as well now. That will be the
92 just went into the pits, Byron. That is the leader that went into the pits. That is the Van Niekerk winning combination that's coming in for their pit stop.
Well, actually now, Frankie, what the great thing is we can actually see on the timings and on the lap charts, we can see who's in which class here. So the two 650 machines that, of course, the 92 and 89 currently head the field, and leading the Supersport 300 class will be Mitch Robinson. 7.5, that's the Reifarth Rimmer bike. Also a beautiful livery on that machine, and we'll now go and lead down into turn 1 holes hook after coming out of the pits. But like I said, the 300s led by Mitch Robinson and Robin de Vos. 2nd place in that particular class at the moment will actually be Solomon and Van Niekerk, because they're also a 300 machine. And then the Raymond Alexander in 3rd position at the moment, that's still actually parked in the pits. That 11 front. Yeah. Now, not losing any places. But we'll keep you updated over there. I do see the number 11. I see a rider on that number 11 machine. And the rider will head for the exit fairly shortly as we are within the last half an hour. So we are past the half distance. 11 is leaving the pits, and there we go, accelerates out and runs it down towards turn 1 at this time. So like I said, 22 laps has been completed here by our leader at the moment, the number 92, the Van Niekerk and Wiening bike, two mainstays on the circuit. So 89 now leaving the pits finally, of course, 2nd position at the present moment, and now giving it horns out on the circuit on the outlap. And then, like I said, yes, so that's Wasserfall-Thomas. It's on the number 81 machine. 71 is the Robinson and de Vos bike, leading the 300 section. And then that will be ahead of the Solomon and Van Niekerk number 4 bike and the Hutchings machine. So Hutchings actually has, the Hutchings crew have come up into 3rd place in the 300 class. Raymond Alexander's machine number 11 is currently the 6th place man and 4th in the class. 71 is leaving, and that will be the Mitch Robinson and Robin DeVos bike that currently holds 3rd position at this time. Unfortunately, the 92 Van Niekerk and Weaning machine crosses the line now out of the pits, having completed 23 racing laps, as Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts on that 400 comes across the line and into turn 1 once again here. Raymond Alexander will do likewise on that number 11 bike, as we still wait for the likes of Wasserfall and Thomas. Here comes the number 89 bike now, that black and green machine. And that will be across the line. They're 29.2 seconds between themselves and the leader at the moment. And then the DeVos and Robinson bike, like I said, 300 leaders. First 75, Michael Reifarth, Philip Rimmer sharing at number 5, that brightly coloured, lovely, colourful machine of theirs. The number 75 in 7th position at this time. Quite a bit ahead of Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts. Got to chat to Nigel Everts not too long ago. Very nice chap. Very full of jokes and full of laughs, and enjoys his racing. He's getting faster all the time, and he's been doing a lot of work on the short circuit as well. But Elmer Mostert also holding it up at the moment for the girls, because we have 2 of our ladies no longer in the race. Solomon and Van Niekerk come across the line. They have taken 3rd place away now from Robinson and DeVos on bike number 71. The Hutchings have climbed back to 5th position at this time. And it looks like all the stops have been completed. So that's the main thing over here now. And the second stints of this bike race have commenced. So, from what we understand, looking into the pits area from our eye in the sky, is the 51 bike of Howden and Bosson being repaired at the moment. They've got 21.5 minutes left of this race, so hopefully for them to get a few more laps in before the checkered flag drops. And that will be something, in a race against time, as we can say. But yes, the leaders, or the leader at the moment, who's got 31.3 seconds on 2nd position, number 92, will come around to complete lap number 25 of this day, sponsored by Smile 90.4 FM, this Killarney Enduro Day. And this is the first of the bike enduro races. That is going to be the Van Niekerk and Weaning bike, leader into 1 now at the moment. And then we've got a few bike. Here's the Hutchings bike in 5th position, and Robinson and DeVos right in the same vicinity. Jessica Howden out of pit lane on bike number 51. She will get a stint in, which is brilliant news, after unfortunately Abigail Bosson earlier on put it down. But they have got their heads together and got that bike going out. They're going a bit slow though. Give her a bit of time, maybe. Let's hope you can get up to space over here. She goes into turn 2, Castro corner. Just making it through her outlap, maybe just checking if the bike is okay. And I don't know how much further she'll make it, Frankie.
Well, the leader's going into turn number 5. That's the 92 bike, way down the road. When he crossed the line, he was 35.5 seconds ahead of the 89 bike that's in that 2nd position. Remember, there was once upon a time that they were very close to each other, and the lead had chop and change. That was all within the first half an hour as he crosses the line and starts lap. Oh, and the quickest lap by him, 1:23.522 by the 92 bike. That's a Van Niekerk Weaning combination that's working its way out of turn number 1, out of holes, and racing down the Jabez straight towards turn 2 into Quarry Corner. He is way, way, way down the road. Remember, it was 35.5 seconds that he was ahead of the 89 machine of Wasserfall and Thomas that is in that second position. So he's really winding up the wick as that 51 bike crosses the line, and right behind them is the second place man, and they're all heading into turn number 1.
So how it all looks within this last 20 minutes of the first endurance race of the day. The leader of the Super Twin Cup 650s is the Van Niekerk and Weening number 92 bike. Second place in class is the Keegan Wasserfall and Leighton Thomas machine. That's currently 39 seconds off and is a slow moving machine on the circuit at turn 2 in Castrol. Out of my view,
and he stops the bike. It's out of the camera's view, but he stopped the bike at the exit of a turn up, and another quickest lap by the 92 bike. It's making its way out of turn number 1, and that is a 122.897 by that 92 machine of Van Niekerk and Weening.
I think it is Jessica Houghton that's unfortunately pulled off on the exit of turn 2. As you go into the kink, yellow flags will be waving in that section, Frankie, so no passing under yellow flags there, and that bike has stopped. Gary did of course notice earlier on that the was going very slowly, that number 51 bike, and I think maybe given up the ghost now, and they dropped the bike unfortunately there next to the wall, so they may have to just push it aside, lean it against the wall. That's the race run for bike number 51.
Yeah, that's all over for that ladies team, and they were in last position, because remember that the 78 bike of Entercott and Hendricks is out. They did 4 laps and then they retired, so they were in last position after having trouble when Bossen put that bike down in turn 5 in Fostron, and then got the bike back to the pit area, did a bit of work, went out, and it's all over for them on the outside exit turn 2 Castrol.
Well, as we speak, I just want to go back to our positions. As I said, 650s, number 92, 89, our top 2. Third place in class is the 7th place overall, the Michael Ryfar Philip Rimmer machine. That's the number 75 machine. And then Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts is 4th place in class. So the 4 bikes left as far as the 650s are concerned. David Enticott and Wesley Hendricks out of the race earlier on. Then we have the Adrian Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk bike leading the 300 class at this time, ahead of the 71 of Robinson and DeVos. Second place in class, ahead of the Hutchings pair on bike number 72. 71, of course, for Robinson and DeVos. They've just gone through the line right now, and that will be 4th place in class, will be the Raymond Alexander bike. Unfortunately, we spoke earlier on about bike number 51 out of the race.
49.4 seconds by bike 92 on bike 89. That's just made its way out of turn number 1, heading towards Castrol Corner. So the gap is massive, nearly 50-second gap between P1 and P2. P2 busy working its way through Castrol. It's a huge lead that that 92 bike has got on the lead. As a matter of fact, the 92 bike is now making its way back into turn number 1, and another quickest lap there by the Van Niekerk Weening combination, a 122.585, and they are now winding up this week with 15 minutes on the clock to go. They are absolutely ripping this field apart, is the Van Niekerk Weening combo, as they work their way around. They are absolutely setting this racetrack alight, Biden, when it comes to quickest lap times.
Quite a bit of overkill, if you ask me, Frankie. They've got a massive gap between themselves and the 89 bike, but this is all for good fun, I would think, as well, and you can't tie good men down. Van Niekerk and Weening possibly on their bike at the present moment after having completed 29 laps. Yeah, 89 in second position at the moment, going to be crossing the line fairly shortly. That is the 89 bike coming across the line right now. 54 seconds between themselves and the 92 bike at the moment. Their last lap was a 27.2 compared to the 22.5 of the Van Niekerk winning machine. So they're going to the stratosphere here as far as times are concerned. All right, so here we go. Across the line will be Raymond Alexander, commentated him a number of times on the short circuit, and he seems to be running that bike on his own today over here. So it's good to see that HSC bike going out there very strong in 6th position, having done a rider change with himself.
Right, so there is 13 minutes and 50 seconds still to go before we see the checkered flag. And let's just run through who's in P1 all the way down while Gary pans around. But it is at 92 bike of Van Niekerk and Weening that sits out there in P1, and they are overall first in the 650s. Second place is the 89 bike of Keegan Wasserfall and Leighton Thomas. They sit second overall and in class, and they are way over 50 seconds behind the 92 machine. Then Byron, third and first in the Power Sport 300s is the Adrian Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk machine, and they are leading the Super Sport 300s and third overall.
8 of them all together left in this race, and yes, we have of course Mostert and Everts that will still be coming through on that number 94 bike as well. We've lost 2 of the initial starters, a number of entries pulled out as well. Here comes Mostert and Everts, and then Van Niekerk and Weening, having completed 31 laps here, come through as we have Raymond Alexander doing exactly likewise across the line.
Yeah, then we've got the 75 bike, and these guys are now beginning to, they've done 27 laps. That's bike 75, that's Michael Rayforth and Philip Remmer. Then we've got that 94 bike that was once upon a time at the back of the field, and that 94 bike, that's Elmer Mostert and Nigel Everts. Nigel, of course, also a short circuit rider. And then the sad demise there of the 51 bike of Abigail Bossen and her teammate Jessica Howden. They did 17 laps in total, and that was the end of that. And then the biggest surprise was the 650, the 78 bike of Dave Entercott and Wesley Hendricks, so that after 4 laps they retired that bike, and they were the first of the retirements.
Yeah, and a sum total with that 4 laps of 6 minutes and 4 seconds about. So that's very little track time they've had over here today, but that's the nature of the beast, as we say, as we approach that final 10-minute stretch. And well, coming to the line is the right path machine as well. Actually, that's the number 92 coming across the line, having completed 32 laps, and 48 minutes and 37 seconds of racing time.
So after all this, your overall leader all on his own is making his way into turn number 2 into Castrol Corner. That's that 92 bike, and he has done a quickest time of 122.585. That combination of Matthew Van Niekerk and Quinton Weening, they share that machine as they work their way into turn number 4 into Interceptor Corner. He is way down the road ahead of that second place man. It must be more than 55 seconds by now. They just wound up that bike and just decided after the pit stop they're just going to take off and disappear into the distance. They are oodles and oodles and oodles of ages down the road as that number 4 bike crosses the line, and that 4 bike is sitting in P3 and leading the 300 class. That's the Solomon Van Niekerk, Ouden Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk. Slade, who wrapped up the 600cc championship a couple of weeks ago. They worked their way out of turn number 1, and they are sitting first in class and 4th overall. Slade sharing the bike with its owner, and that is Adrian Solomon.
Yeah, just getting some more track time out there. Of course, Slade Van Niekerk, a brilliant season from the young man, as you've said, Frankie, And while Solomon, don't take anything away from him, because he was the main man in the 300 section this year as well. So a very strong performer. The Mostert and Nigel Evert's bike comes across the line right now, and the last time around a 143.164 on that 400cc bike of theirs, a 134.662, excuse me. They're coming through, and Michael Ryfarth just ahead of them there, not just ahead of them, 43.8 seconds to be exact, but still holds 7th position at this time on that number 75 bike. We have now entered the last 10 minutes of this race. The leader has crossed the line to start the lap already, and we still wait, of course, for second place. Hutchings and Hutchings come across the line. They are currently the 3rd place in class. And then here comes our 3rd place pairing of Solomon and Van Niekerk, as Wasserval and Thomas come across the line now. 128.428, their fastest lap, having completed those 33 laps. But just as we say that, we'll have the leaders coming around shortly.
And he makes his way into turn number 1, does that leader. And he has done 34 laps, including the lap that he's on. And that is the leader making his way out of turn number 1, out of holes, working his way towards a Castell corner, all on his own. The rider on board bike 92, that's the Van Niekerk winning combo, and he can literally just roll off because he's got 8 minutes to go before he sees the checkered flag. And way down the road of the 89 bike that's in 2nd position, namely Keegan Wasserval and Leighton Thomas.
Well, that fastest lap of his, Frankie, was a 122.585, a 124.708 the last time around. So more than 2.2 seconds of a lap, 2.3 seconds actually off of that best time at the moment. So they've crossed the line already. Wasserval and Thomas, they were approaching a minute the last time behind the leader. They've probably crossed that particular threshold, and yeah, now comes the Solomon and Van Niekerk by still holding it true, holding it strong in the leader. Yeah, 2nd place goes into 1 right now, the 650. 2nd place, he's a full minute and 14 seconds behind Van Niekerk, and winning. He's actually going to be lapped fairly shortly by the looks of it in the next 7 minutes. Right into 2.
Right, there's the 4 bike on your screen, and right behind him is the 89 bike. So that's P2 chasing P3. Now remember that the rider on P2 is in a 650 as they make their way into Interceptor corner. And the rider that's in 3rd place, bike number 4, that's Solomon, they are on a Super Sport 300 machine. So the 3rd place man is going to be lapped by the 2nd place man pretty soon as they work their way out of the double right-hander turn 4, Byron, out of saddle sweep and onto the back straight.
I think, like you said there, Frankie, and then the 1st place man is going to lap the 2nd place man. It's going to just be lapping and lapping and lapping in the last 6 minutes of this hour-long enduro. Remember, the first of 2 hour-long enduros, and then we go to the 3 hour a little bit later on for the cars. But yes, into that last 6 minutes now. Van Niekerk, last time around a 123.903, a smidgen faster than the previous lap. Actually, not just a smidgen, about 0.8 of a second to be exact. The 4 comes across the line. Solomon Wasserval will just be off of him then. And here comes the leader now. The number 92 will come on. So they're all gonna eat each other.
Right, Byron, let's just sum this all up. Coming out of turn 1, heading towards Castell corner, we've got the 3rd place man that's been chased by the 2nd place man, so he's going to be lapped as they're going to Castell, and right behind them going into Castell is the overall leader. He's that 92 bike off Van Niekerk winning. So this is where the action is. With 5 minutes left on the clock, we watch them work their way through Interceptor corner. So this is P2 that's going to be caught by P1 and P3 that's going to be caught by P2. If it sounds complicated, it isn't that much complicated as they make their way through turn 4, saddle sweep, the double right-hander.
Let's just say it this way, a shark is going to be eaten by a bigger shark and be eaten by a bigger shark. So there we go.
Basically something by an orca or something to that effect, yes.
Well, they're going to be barreling down the straight now. There we go. Right through does the number 89 bike on the outside of bike number 4, and he makes a clean pass. So he's put a lap there on the Adrian Solomon and Van Niekerk bike. And now the first thing that's going to happen now is that the number 92 will lap the number 4 bike for a third time, and then for the second time will catch the Wasserveld Thomas bike when they cross the line now.
Do you realize, as we watch this lot coming out of turn number 1, that if the 92 bike does get past the 89, that they would have lapped everybody. Everybody that 92 bike would have lapped through Castle Corner. They go, and that 4 bike that's going to be lapped is sitting 3rd place overall, and he will get zapped now going into Interceptor Corner. Dip it to the right, and through goes the leader there on Solomon and Slade. But they won't really mind, Byron, because they're still 3rd overall and they're still 1st in class.
Oh, that being said, Frankie, 75, the right path Mrimmer bike in the pits at the moment at this very late stage in this race. 3.5 minutes left to go, and well, hopefully he'll be coming out. Looks like he is, though. The number 75 bike will be coming back out onto the circuit. That shouldn't affect their position at all, really, although they have gone now to 8th position, so I think they have dropped a position.
So let's have a look at what's happening out there. Here he comes. Has he put the lap on the 89 bike? I think he has. He has done just that. So he has now lapped everybody. So as you see them going into turn number 1, never mind who's lapped who, that's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd overall making its way out of turn number 1. 92 from 89 from 4, even though the 92 machine has lapped everybody. That is, as you see them, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd heading into Castrol.
2.5 minutes left to go. As we look down, you can see, of course, our man with the flag, the starter initially, Andre Greve, will be battling the wind out there, and he'll be bringing out a nice checkered sail for himself as they come around that last corner.
Must be careful, it could take him all the way from Cape to Rio, that sail.
Yeah, he's going to have to hold on and grow a pair of muscles there. But yes, we still are within this last 2 minutes. They should reach 40 laps completely over that, as the number 92 still leads the way, having lapped everybody in the field that's still running. And well, he's now basically, you could say, a whole full lap ahead of 2nd place man. But nose to tail battle coming over here. I think that is the 94 and Raymond Alexander battling it out, because they're not on the same lap as each other, but they're just for good spirit of racing.
So the leader comes under the bridge, and then behind him comes that 4 bike, and he's going to be zapped. Will he be zapped into turn 1? No, he doesn't get lapped there by that 89 bike, but the leader has now done 39 laps, including the one that he's on. That is the 92 bike of Van Niekerk and Weening, as they make their way into Castrol Corner. And right there with him, even though he is 1 lap down, is that 89 bike of Keegan Wasserveld and Leighton Thomas. And then 3rd and 1st in class, Odin Solomon and Slade Van Niekerk, with 55 seconds left on the clock.
I can see the checkered flag is being readied. An hour plus 1 lap. Yes. 1 minute to go, but we'll watch now for that checkered flag to come out shortly, as we are now into the last seconds of this motor race. Number 92, Van Niekerk and Weening, lead the overall standings and the 650s. Solomon and Van Niekerk lead the 300 class. Only those 2 classes running in this endurance race. As the number 94 crosses the line, Mostert and Everts. The last lap, I think, 10 seconds to go.
The leader is making his way out of 1. He just came around to start another lap. So that's that 92 bike that is in the lead. He's in this group of bikes that's making its way into Castrol Corner. So we should see this checkered flag come out pretty soon here. He's done 40 laps, including the one that he's on, making his way through Interceptor Corner. It was a dominating performance by the riders on bike 92. They were never going to catch those guys. That's the Suzuki SV650 of Matthew van Niekerk and Quinton Weening. Down the back straight he goes. And is the flag ready? Yes, the checkered flag is out as the leader makes his way all on his own out of Pertamina Fostron.
One last time for the for Matthew van Niekerk and Quinton Weening on that 650, and the flag is out, and number 92 takes the victory in the Bridgestone Super Twin Cup 650 300s. Our second place is 89, Keegan Wasserval and Leighton Thomas in second place. So the Hutchings, of course, finish in fifth position. I'm just going to take them as they cross the line here. We're still waiting for Solomon van Niekerk, who crosses the line right now in third position, and the winner of the 300 class. And then the Robinson and De Vos bike would be second in 300s.
Yeah, and they would be fifth overall, and they will be second in class. That's bike 71. That is Mitch Robinson and Rob De Vos. As a matter of fact, Byron, yeah, the back markers have taken the flag ready with the 71 bike should still be on the lead lap, because more than one lap or more is the Hutching and Hutchings combination on that 72 bike, and they have taken the flag. Alexander has taken the flag on bike number 11. And here comes Mitch Robinson across the line now. And he will finish fifth overall on bike 71 with Rob De Vos. And second, they will finish in the Super